Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Ronco Johnson, his lifestyle focus wealth, and this is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? How's everybody doing this afternoon? It's so good to talk to you. And we're back, and we're having a lot to say today. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of topics that just is going to give you some insight to what I've been thinking about. What is Lifestyle Focused Wealth all about? Good afternoon. I'm Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focused Wealth coach. And thank you for joining us in your Inside When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? Today, we're going to be talking about our philosophy and what Lifestyle Focused Wealth really means. And I'm going to be sharing with you the journey, the impact, and the determination and why we got to where we wanted to get to. So hopefully I'm hoping to inspire somebody that's maybe a new entrepreneur. Maybe you want to start your own podcast. Maybe you want to be a financial professional or what have you. Or better yet, you may just be someone interested in living your best life. And we're going to talk about what that really means, being lifestyle focused and having a wealthy mindset. And does that really mean cash? Or are we talking to something bigger? Well, hey, look, stick around and find out. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and unwind and stay tuned. And join us on the inside of this episode. And I promise you, it'll be worth your cost of admission. I guarantee it. So sit back, relax, and unwind. Join us on the inside. I'll see you soon. Hey, good day, everybody. I'm Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focused Wealth coach. And thank you for joining us for another episode of When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? Hey, it's Lifestyle Focused Friday. Let's talk about your week. How was your week? How was your week out there? I see our family and friends already joining in and saying hello. I just want to go ahead and welcome everybody. I see those folks out there in Wisconsin. I see a couple folks from Atlanta. I'm checking you out already. You got your hands, got your pencils, got your paper, and you're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to be talking about the philosophy. You know, I've been getting a couple of conversations. I've had a couple of conversations offline, and it was asked of me about the philosophy behind lifestyle focused wealth. And I said, you know what? I think it's probably good to have a segment where we can just kind of relax and talk about these surprising facts about how this came about, where we are, and how it is affecting you, the audience, and how it's affecting many, many people who are checking in every week. And we want to continue to inspire you to live your best lifestyle-focused wealth lifestyle. And what is that all about? So before I jump into it, as usual, I want to make sure that we give our flowers where they may be. And I want to welcome you into the show. So I want to encourage you, before we get started, do me a favor. Do not forget to share this information with your family. Like this information by giving us a thumbs up. Subscribe, share, and click that notification bell. That way you get all of our updates on future content that we want to share. We want to be sure that all of our family is invited. We want to invite you in And this is our safe place. This is our safe place that we speak about what millionaires and billionaires do and talk about our lifestyles amongst each other. And we start to share. Too often that we share what is on social media is always the good stuff, right? It's always the good stuff. And then every once in a while, you turn on the news and it's always the bad stuff. So we just want to give you some detail about what is real. What is real and how did we get to this point, and where to go, who to talk to, but before we get into that, just remember, go ahead and tell someone that you're here. We need your help. Everything we need is in the room. That's right. Everything we need is in the room. And I'm going to ask you guys to become a member. Join our Lifestyle Focus group. It's only $16 a month at lifestylefocuswealth.com. And, one of the beautiful things about having a community like this is the fact that you get to have conversations with people that I really have grown to enjoy. I'm talking about you. Those of you who are listening right now, we grow to enjoy, we grow as a family. We start to talk about things, and I have to say, it is a great pleasure to wake up on a Friday, or wake up any day, as a matter of fact, and be able to say, hey, I want to be able to control my lifestyle. I want to be able to control my lifestyle from who I want to be in it, who I want in my life, who I want to share it with, when I want to go somewhere, how I want to do it, and what is really most important in your life. Lifestyle Focused Wealth is really a very much more of a holistic approach to what I call financial planning. As many of you may have known, if you've had the opportunity to look me up, my business is typically motivated by a combination of my own personal ambition, for one, and the desire to create a lasting impact on the world. And in this journey, in my early years, I started out as an athlete in college and had ambitions to be a professional ball player, and it didn't work out that way. And I tell you, one of the more tragic things I think that happened in my career was my knee injury. First of all, my first one, my knee injury caused situations for me to think about life a little bit differently. And I want to share that with you. I want to share where that comes from. And why is that so meaningful? And why is that a sustainable foundation for what we're building in this community? And how these experiences have taught me to have resilience and the importance of financial independence. Well, one, the foundation of this philosophy came from, I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be a professional athlete, and I couldn't perform. Can you imagine training for years and years and years, and one day you just no longer can do it? My knee injury cost me 4 years of rehabilitation, nearly an amputation from my right knee down. And, there was a lot of depression that went behind that. And for you student athletes or professional athletes that we're having this conversation, there's a point when our careers are over. It's kind of like, if you really think about it, I tell advisors this too. If you think about it, imagine for a moment, just close your eyes and imagine riding a skateboard, right? You're on a skateboard and you're at the top of a hill. I mean, a real top of a hill of maybe even of a subdivision. I don't know why it's subdivision, but let's just call it a subdivision. And all of a sudden you get on this skateboard and you're going to ride it down to the bottom of the hill and you feel like for some reason you want to prove to everybody that you can make it from the top of this hill down to the bottom of the hill without falling. But without thinking, you jump on this skateboard and you realize that the skateboard has no brakes. And at the end of the street, it is a three-way cross path. You may have a car coming from left or right. If you go straight ahead, you're going to go right into a ditch. Our careers are very, very similar to this expression. You have to choose when you're going to get off. But there's not a soft landing. You can jump off that skateboard early, but you're probably going to scab a knee or scratch an elbow. Same thing with your insurance agents and real estate agents and those types of folks. There's no soft landing to where your career is going to take you. And sometimes you just get on board and you hold on tight and you end up on the skateboard at the bottom of the hill. You made it to the bottom, but you still have no idea how to get off that skateboard. Sometimes it's going to cost you something, right? That's the philosophy there behind that is, what part of the journey do you look at and think to yourself, wow, what could possibly happen in that scenario that causes me to think of many positive things? No one wants to fall, but I can also tell you, falling is probably one of the greatest things that's ever happened, because what do? You learn from that. You learn from that. Maybe you jump off early enough where you can transition in your career. Maybe the universe and your God and whoever you pray at night to has shifted your life in such a way that those same motivations that you had as a young person end up becoming the lasting impact that you place on the lives of others, that you impact every day for the rest of your life, and including the community around you. See, lifestyle focused wealth in our community really is talking about what this community is all about. I know a lot of times we talk about what millionaires and billionaires do. But if you pay close attention to what they do, many times those who are truly wealthy, they spend more time with their families. They spend more time with their friends. They're smiling. They're integrating their lifestyles with other families and other groups of people, and they're sharing moments. If you've ever thought about that, what is wealth? You know, depending on how old you are when you're on this video, and you're 20-somethings, you can't wait to make your first 6 figures in business, right? And then in your 30s, you're happy that you're probably raising your child about that time, and it's all about your child. In your 40s, you're trying to figure out how much money we need to survive by this point. In your 50s, you're trying to figure out how to become an empty nesters. In your 60s, what does it take to be in retirement, and so forth and so on. I can only talk about the older ages just because I've had the experience through my clients in the past. And for those of you who don't know, I am a licensed insurance agent. I've been in this business for 26 years. And through our agencies and through our other companies that we take part in, our firm is most known for our commitment to financial literacy and empowerment to the underserved communities. That's what we do as our foundation. That we offer educational programs just like this one and workshops to teach essential skills that you may need and helping individuals and families achieve financial stability and independence. I think that is so important because in this day and age, we're also captivated by getting our education and going out and applying our degrees to what we call the great big world out here. And many of us are finding that we're still left unfulfilled, even if we reached those goals. So our team of professionals that we work with, we're actively involved with mentoring young entrepreneurs. I don't mind if it's insurance agents, it doesn't matter if it's business professionals. Why are we all able to have the same conversation? Providing them with guidance and resources that they need to start and grow is so essentially important. I wish that when I was starting out that I had that. I had to learn how to surround myself around people that could help in that situation, right? I had to learn how to make that happen. Hey, do me a favor before I get too in depth on what lifestyle focused wealth is all about. Do me a favor. If you got a comment, go ahead and make a comment, but be sure you put takeaways. The word takeaways in your comment. Why? Because it allows us to see and allows us to know that you're taking away something meaningful in this conversation, and that's what we're aiming to do today. We're aiming to do that today, and we're going to talk about some of our significant contributions and ideas. We're going to discuss that in this video, and we're going to talk about what our central challenge has been, and address how some of my work addresses these ideas, and hopefully it helps to inspire you to get on board and start really focusing in on what is it that your life is all about? What is it that your dreams are all about? And how does this help? I could tell you for me, mentorship has been very helpful in ways that I didn't expect, because I get to meet aspiring business owners just like you, and I get to hear their hopes and their dreams and help turn them into reality. And it's not just business owners, it's even the clientele. That you might meet a family that has an idea of where they want to be financially and where they want to go, and just need somebody to help them organize or create a roadmap so they can get into the spirit of becoming an entrepreneur or having the economic growth within a community that makes sense for them. And these initiatives resonates with most of us. So why not share the information, right? So if I'm resonating with you right now, do me a favor, put it in the comments, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, say hello. And we're hoping that you engage on our site today. I see some folks up there looking and watching, okay? I see you guys out there watching. So this video, we're going to talk about some things, right? I know that I'm not the only one in the world that's had to overcome an injury or overcome some level of adversity in their lives. But when you're talking about trying to build a successful business, and you actually come through on the other side, sometimes it's okay for you to sit back and kind of smell the roses and say, I didn't realize how far I had come until I sat down with other people. And the volume of questions that we've been getting, I have to be honest with you, it has been inspiring to me. I go home being more inspired by the people who say they're inspired by my actions. It's almost like I have a higher level responsibility, and we will. So I want to come back and I want to work and give you guys the absolute best. I want to give you the absolute best that I have, and that's probably some of the effect that I've had when I was training as an athlete. You know, you wake up at 4:00 in the morning and you have this tremendous work ethic and you do the things right consistently. You do them right over and over and over again. And the purpose of doing it over and over and over again. And so I can practice making all the mistakes possible. I said that right. So I could practice making all the mistakes possible. But my ultimate goal was to eliminate as many mistakes as possible. So I'm going to dive into some innovative ideas and some of those contributions that we've made, particularly to focus on financial literacy and empowerment. We're going to explore those. And we're going to talk a little bit about how, you know, our firm has helped countless individuals and families achieve financial stability through education and mentorship, and how this philosophy of lifestyle-focused wealth has been integrated into wealth-building strategies into our everyday lives, and how it's transformed how people think about and manage their finances. It's safe to say that most of the things that we talk about and uncover, the key principles and the strategies that we have cultivated in our system, it is amazing to me how backwards our financial education has been. You know, you're told to go to work, get good grades, go to college, go to work, save your money. And then you're told to go out, buy a house, spend your money, get married, spend your money, take care of kids and family while spending your money. In the meantime, you're supposed to save. You're chasing this idea that the more money that we make, the more of our problems go away. Not realizing that the overall concept of everything that we're learning, or everything that we have learned, depending on your upbringing, is the absolute opposite. That's why, for me, that's been a central issue or a challenge that I like to address in all of my works, whether it be our L.R. Johnson and Associates, the Ronco Johnson Foundation, or whether it's Lifestyle Focused Wealth. That's the challenge to you. It's through these ideas and attacking these issues with the lack of financial literacy and empowerment, if you will, in underserved communities. And recognizing how many families and people out here are struggling to manage their finances. It can lead to long-term economic instability. And limited opportunity for growth. But something as simple as opening a microphone and sharing information with you, almost like I would a diary. My commitment to you every Friday at 1:00, my commitment to you is the fact that, okay, we're going to be prepared for the conversation. We're going to be prepared for the questions. We're willing to take on the challenges and tackle these challenges by providing comprehensive financial education and resources for you. And most of our initiatives is pretty simple. We focus on a few things: financial literacy, we focus on empowerment, mentorship, community engagement. Those 4 pieces of the puzzle is really what it's all about for us. And when I say financial literacy, we're talking about educating people on the basic financial management. Stuff like budgeting, savings, investing, and then debt management. That is a true conversation that all of us should start having. And one of the questions that I get is, well, Ronco, how can I start to have these conversations with my spouse? Or when do I need to start to have these conversations with my children? In my opinion, start having the conversations with your. It's not a conversation that you need to wait. It needs to be interwoven into your lifestyle, because there's a lot of activities that we learn. There's a lot of habits that we pick up just because of our parents' lifestyle, just because of something that we observed, just because of having to get up at 4 o'clock and having that work ethic. It's because that is something that was routine, and we've seen it over and over and over again. So just imagine if your purpose in your family was to change the landscape of the literacy when it comes to money in your family. You start talking about the basics. You give your kids budgets. Start talking about savings. If they're coming back to you from college and they're asking for money too quickly, we need to be having a conversation of investing. We need to have the conversation of, hey, your debt management. We have to have the conversation of, mom and dad, you still deserve to be paid back. Why? Because they're putting their money up for you to go to college, but one day, mom and dad will retire. And every fund, every dollar, it matters. So if you have everybody in the family thinking about it that way, I think it's a natural progression that will happen. Secondly, when we're talking about empowerment, I'm a father, I'm a girl dad. How many of you out there are girl dads? Give me some thumbs ups out there. Or just a father or a parent. It doesn't matter, mom and dads. You're just a parent. Empowerment is important. I think empowerment is so important because we're offering tools and strategies to help people take control of their financial futures. And these are our little people. These are our people, our babies, that we're trying to say, look, hey, we're fostering your independence and confidence to step out here in the world and attack your hopes and dreams and chase them unapologetically. But make the right decisions along the way. Right? My third reason is mentorship. As I said to you earlier, many of you guys that watch our program and that are listening to this, I'm gonna share with you something that there's not a night that I don't go home and don't think about the people who are watching me and take time to spend an hour and 30 minutes each and every Friday, sometimes multiple times, watching our podcast, hoping that we give them something that inspires them. Guiding and inspiring entrepreneurs, young professionals, moms and dads, and helping them navigate the complexities of starting and growing a business. Man, there's nothing like it next to having a child. Whether we're having a conversation about the straw man effect or starting your corporation and how to get it properly funded, you're growing this business to get started. It is an organic operation, if you will. It is a challenge not for the weak at heart, but it is actually one of the things that I can say I'm most proud of is the fact that in my lifestyle focused environment, having the opportunity to wake up every day and do something that I absolutely enjoy doing. Now, I do many different things that are profitable. This is going to be the least of the things that I do that's making a profit. But I absolutely love educating people and mentoring folks. And knowing that something that I might have said may have put the seed into your mind and plant that seed and give it the hopes, the dreams, the water, the nutrients that it needs to say, I'm going to grow that seed. And then have the opportunity to be around to just see that thing grow. Are you guys understanding where we are today? Are you understanding where we are today? Because I don't think you understand. Sometimes as a mentor, you guys are my mentors. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't feel the pressures to do what I do that inspires you. The fourth thing is community engagement. And as far as community engagement, sometimes we do these things for social media, for clicks and for views and all these different things, right? But there's nothing like being able to say you're responsible for more than 200 to 300 businesses that got created in the last several years because of a conversation you had, actively participating in community programs and workshops and reaching a broader audience and creating a culture of financial awareness. Social media brings us together. There's people that's listening to this broadcast that are across the water that we're able to reach with this information. So one of the things I'm most grateful for is having the ability to, I should say, my aim is to break the cycle of financial insecurity and build a foundation of sustainable economic growth within communities all across the globe. See, our work is not done. Our work is not done. It not only helps individuals achieve their financial goals and achieve their own financial stability, but it also contributes to the overall economic health of a community. That's partly what lifestyle-focused wealth means to me. If you got questions for me out there, I don't want you to fall asleep. Please put down what does lifestyle-focused wealth mean to you? What does that look like for you? I want to ask you to put your information in the comments, and if you're watching the replay, please still make a comment and put it down below. And we still want to know exactly what it means to you. And if I could be of any assistance of helping you get there, it's very easy. Just send me an email at info@roncojohnson.com. I'll be more than willing to sit down, have the one-on-one conversation with you, your family, your friends, maybe even invite you on the show. If you're a business owner and you have a topic that we find that creates value for us and our listeners, let's have a conversation. Right? Let's have a conversation. That's what it's all about. That's all it's all about. So, I'm looking at our questions, and we got questions already coming in. And one of the questions is, how can I create wealth or a better lifestyle when my funds are so limited? That's a good question. That's a good question. First of all, we have to start thinking about, okay, lifestyle focused wealth philosophy revolves around the idea of financial well-being. It's deeply intertwined with the overall life satisfaction and community health. So here are some concepts for you I want to share with you from this philosophy that we've created and how it impacts you today in its context. Number one, holistic financial wellness. It's the belief system that financial health is not just the accumulation of wealth, but it's also achieving balance and having a fulfilling life. It includes, budgeting, savings, investing in experience, health, and wellness. But at the same time, what is that balance? Do you have that balance with your family, your friends? Are you taking advantage of those moments? Lifestyle has a lot to do with that. Some things, we don't control what environment we're born into. But at some point in our life, we can control how we want to respond to what life gives us as adult beings, right? It makes things different. I think my answer to your question would be, it's not based on how much money you have. Your wealth comes from how pleasing your environment is around you. Are you satisfied with the time that you spend with your kids or grandkids? Are you fostering relationships that are meaningful and impactful or elevating? Are you doing the things that you need to do in self-development? Think about the 5 people around you. Are those people who are typically dragging you down, or are they elevating you and putting fuel on your fire? These are the questions that we might want to ask. Even if I'm going to work every day, am I working in an environment that really is good for my financial and my personal wellness and well-being? And if the answer to that is no, you probably need to start making other decisions and put that part of it first. See, this philosophy is about doing the things that you love to do and incorporating these habits in that lifestyle. Okay? So when we talk about budgeting and savings, I'm going to encourage the discipline of, financial habits that will ensure you some long-term stability. Obviously, we want to know what we got coming in and what we got going out, right? And the investing in experiences part of it is really key. I think promoting the idea of spending on meaningful experiences can enhance your lifestyle significantly. If you were like me, when you grew up, have you ever been in a situation where when you were a kid, you wanted to go certain places, you said, Mom, Dad, I want to go. And I said, no, not right now. Not right now. We don't have it. Not right now. We don't have the money for that. If you've come from that, say amen to that. How many of you have ridden first class on an airplane ride? If you're always taking, the regular seats, I can tell you, even though you're saving money or it's a cheaper seat, the experience in a first class seat is probably worth that experience at least one time. I can honestly tell you that will be an enhancing experience. If that plane ticket's over, if that ride on your plane is over 4 hours, my challenge to you would be, hey, get a first class seat. Sit in the front seat and see what it's like. See what it's like to ride in first class. Because you deserve it. When we talk about experiences, we're talking about things like travel. A lot of us say, well, I wish I could travel. I wish I could travel. I wish I could travel. I don't have the money to travel. The question is, why? Why don't you have the opportunity to travel? Because in travel, you start to find out that some of the things that you grew up on, some of the ideas that we grew up on, may not really be relevant today. The enhancement happens when you get out and meet different people. You see different stories. You see different struggles. You hear different information. And then the interpretation and how wealthy people think are totally different. And we're having this conversation every week, how the wealthy think is totally different than people who make less money. And it can be on the same subject matter. If you start investing in these experiences, watch how much you grow. I'm looking at, let's see, creating wealth by using life insurance as a vehicle. Life insurance is a great vehicle. But there's many people out here that still don't know exactly how to use it, right? Again, this comes back from, okay, let's talk about our holistic financial wellness again. There's a couple of things that we always got to make sure that we have is good health and before good wealth. I want to be here long enough on this world to enjoy my physical fitness. I want to enjoy the wealth that we're creating for our families and our friends. I want to enjoy the experiences, correct? So we all know that every day starts with a start date and an end date. But it's really what we focus on in between that makes the difference, right? If we focus on the things that matter in between, we're really making an impact at a much higher rate. When I think about health and wellness, we're recognizing the physical and the mental health side of it, because these are crucial components when it comes to your financial well-being. Because I can tell you, when you don't have the financial dollars in your hand, yes, it can be overwhelming. It can be stressful. It can cause certain things to happen to your physical and your mental, depression and all kinds of things. But the moment you start having conversations with other people who can give you ideas and elevate your mindset and the way you're thinking, the moment that you go outside and put your actual feet on the earth and walk amongst all the living things, plants and grass and air, taking a deep breath, as you take a deep breath and inhale the oxygen from the world, you got the carbon coming out of your body that the world needs when you exhale. See, we're all connected in that way. And this is the holistic side of it. is saying, well, okay, yes, life insurance is a product, and we've been talking about how we build it and use the cash in it and leverage it for other things in our lives. But the truth of the matter is, if my lifestyle is focused around being financially responsible, having the overall life satisfaction, being a helpful citizen in the community to others, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that I don't leave any debts behind, that I make sure that my children's children have the ability to have a head start or have the proper education of how to handle these financial tools that I'm going to leave behind for them to handle. I'm going to leave something behind for them to handle. But I also want them to understand that the money that's being left behind is just that, a tool. I would rather them to really understand what it means to have a lifestyle-focused wealth community around them. Invest in those experiences. Stay healthy, and you know you're automatically budgeting and savings once you start to use some of these other financial tools, such as a life insurance policy and other things. But what it does do, it opens the world up so that I can take advantage of leverage. I can borrow against it. I can pay it back. I can donate to my favorite charity. I can leave it to a loved one. I can leverage it and start a new business. There's so many things that lead to my second point of community empowerment. And when we're talking about emphasizing on the importance of uplifting an entire community through financial education, boy, I get so excited. I get so excited when you go to Boys and Girls Clubs and you talk about educational workshops, and when you start dealing with financial literacy programs to underserved communities. They're hungry for it. Not only are they hungry for it, in this day and age, we all are hungry for it. There is no age differential in that. We're hungry for this information. And we all need financial programs. It's my estimation that the United States of America is the most financially illiterate country in the world. Think about that for a second. If 90% of our population is financially illiterate, where are we getting the information from? That's why mentorship programs, I think, are so important. They're offering the guidance and support to other people, professionals, young entrepreneurs. And then building a community like this one, Lifestyle Focused Wealth, has a collaborative effort. We're doing collaborative growth. We're encouraging community members to support each other on their financial journeys. I see another question popping up. Let me see if I can articulate what you're saying. If 2 out of 5 people closest to you are speaking negative towards your goals, how do you slowly eliminate them from the conversation? Well, lifestyle focused wealth. Lifestyle focused wealth also is the mental health part of it. Having the ability to say to yourself, today, this is not my focus. These conversations don't serve me well, right? But my focus is here. Their conversation is there. You don't have to ask anyone's permission to remove yourself from the conversation. You simply go. The challenge is you understanding that it's time to go. And sometimes separation may be that, hey, I have to separate for a moment. It may be for a long period of time. It might be for 4 or 5 years. But that's because your focus is in the elevation stages. It's in the building stages. It's in the sustainable wealth building stages. It's different. And your commitment is to be different. If you think about it, if your commitment was to lose 30, 40 pounds, and you were committed to go to the gym 5 days a week, but your friends went 2 days a week, and their conversation was about 2 days, but they picked on you because you started going 5 days, what will happen over the next 30 to 60 days? Give an example. What would happen over the next 6 months? Physically, your body's going to change. Theirs is going to be somewhat the same. In many cases, maybe even worse. And they're working out 2 times a week. But if you do this workout 5 days a week, if you're walking, running, lifting tires, doing push-ups, sit-ups, financially, you're hearing in your mind, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Today, y'all can do 2 push-ups. Tomorrow, I can do 100 push-ups. Today, I can only do 1 pull-up. But tomorrow, I'll be able to do 15 to 20 pull-ups. Your body is going to condition itself to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Well, that's the same thing with our financial mindset. The more and more I stay engaged in the community, the more and more I stay focused on building my lifestyle the way that I want it to be, the stronger and the more confident I become. And naturally, it starts to separate you from the crowd. Because the people around you probably have those same ideas, those same experiences that they're sharing with you, and those others are going to sit by the wayside. So I'm not going to tell you you have to separate yourself. I think once you start to focus on your lifestyle, that will happen automatically. Absolutely. You said I would look better. I think so. We all look better when we put the time and the effort into taking care of ourselves, right? You can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. So we want to talk about this sustainable wealth building because, again, sustainable wealth building is nothing more but being an advocate for sustainable and ethical wealth building strategies that benefit the society and individuals of all kinds. And when we're talking about this, we're talking about long-term investments, investments that provide a steady growth and security. We're talking about ethical practices where we're promoting business practices that are what I call socially responsible and environmentally sustainable. Because we know there's a lot of people who aren't very ethical out here. God knows the music business is not very ethical. You can see it on the news every day, right? And we start really focusing on generational wealth, helping our families create and preserve wealth for future generations. And I didn't say money. It's not just money. When I'm talking about families creating and preserving wealth, creating experiences, creating moments, maybe you travel together. I remember traveling with my parents to Panama City beaches where my dad likes to go. I remember hanging out with my brother at the beaches. Those things are preserved in my mind forever. The money that I had at that time has been spent. But those memories and those moments, they're still here. So what happens when you preserve those types of moments and that type of wealth? Well, it starts to be reflected when now I take my daughter and we go to different places, or my brother and he goes to different places with his kids. That trip that my parents took, it did affect future generations. It has affected us. It's given us the opportunity to say, when I grow up, I want to do that thing too. But I want to do more than just go to that one destination. I know I'm going over today. You're absolutely right, Sam Johnson. You're absolutely right. In many cases, separation is a product of elevation. The implications of that and the relevance today that I have to tell you about, hey, today's fast-paced and often uncertain world out here, I personally think our lifestyle-focused wealth philosophy is particularly relevant. The emphasis on a holistic wellness aligns with the growing awareness of mental health and work-life balance. I think our focus on community empowerment resonates with the increasing importance of social responsibility and collective growth. Let's not forget about sustainable wealth practices are crucial in this era of ethics and environmental consideration that are becoming the central part of financial decisions. We're beginning to see leaders that we can't really depend on. And we're having to vote on people who may not be as dependable as we need them to be. So again, where is our social responsibility? Instead of looking for other people to save us, we're taking this responsibility on ourselves. So by integrating these concepts into our everyday lives, individuals like myself, we can all achieve not only financial stability, but also a more fulfilling, a well-balanced lifestyle. I personally just happen to think that this comprehensive framework and this comprehensive approach for navigating the complexities of our modern lifestyle I think it contributes to the broader community. And because of it, concepts like our once concept, the own nothing, control everything. These concepts that emphasize the importance of asset protection and estate planning. And by using these tools like we use with trust, and individuals can control their assets without directly owning them. All this helps. It helps you to avoid probate and protect your assets from creditors or potential creditors. I think this approach is absolutely relevant today as people ask how to safeguard their wealth in an increasingly litigious society. You can get sued for almost anything today. Y'all, I'm loving the statements today. I'm loving it. You're saying you think people need to hear an answer because they may not know how to eliminate the negative conversation. So thank you. You're so welcome, Ms. Henderson. You're so welcome. Sometimes it's just about having the permission, someone giving you permission to say it's okay to walk away. It's okay for you not to agree. You got permission to say, well, hey, I appreciate your point of view. Your point of view doesn't affect how I'm going to respond or react when I'm focused on what I have to get done. You know, if we're truly focused, someone's opinion is not going to matter so much. And I think that comes with maturity. We start to figure out that, hey, someone else's opinion really doesn't matter as long as I am doing the things that I love, enjoy, and somewhat control. I'm happy. My kids know who I am. My grandkids know who I am. My lifestyle is basic and simple. It doesn't have to be all these other extra things. You can only drive one car. You can only live in one house at a time. But we get stuck on all these other things. Sometimes we lose ourselves in really what's being said. Remember, lifestyle-focused wealth, to me, our philosophy integrates financial health with overall life satisfaction. Balancing your budget, investing in experiences, health and wellness. Those are our three, okay? How'd you guys like our conversation today? If you liked our conversation today, it's so interesting. I see you guys burning up and answering the questions and having conversations. These are the deep conversations we want to have. We're on a journey. We're on a journey to help people overcome their own adversities by becoming successful entrepreneurs and financial educators that showcases our resilience and our vision and our commitment to making a difference. And I can honestly say, I feel like we're making headway. I think there's so many more people that we need to continue to inspire on this journey, motivate on this journey. The community we need to impact even more. We owe it. And I would love to see our lifestyle-focused philosophy, this integrated approach to financial well-being and overall life satisfaction, be introduced into our school systems, be introduced to our kids, our families, and our businesses. Because these are the pivotal moments for myself that I can honestly say made the decision easier once I started to realize that I took an idea, a concept, a strategy, a solution, and created a platform where I could turn my personal adversity into the mission of financial empowerment and leading others to the same resolve. Unapologetically, right? This is exactly why I'm going to tell you. You need to be in the room. You need to be in the room. We need people like you. We need you to like, save, share, and hit that notification bell and remind people why you are wanting to become part of our lifestyle-focused wealth community. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We have to have you in the room. We have to have you in the room. Hey, join our lifestyle-focused wealth community. Membership's starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. Hey, so thank you so much today. We've been talking about our lifestyle-focused wealth community and our philosophy. Thank you for sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying our conversation. If this information was important to you, or if it has sparked some more conversational pieces for you to have with your family members, do me a favor, let us know about it and check us out. That's on lifestylefocusedwealth.com, or you can go to roncojohnson.com, schedule a one-on-one, and I would love to talk to you about it and share your ideas with our community, and hopeful that that your words could impact somebody else out there as well. So listen, I will see you on our next episode. We're going to be talking about some more great tips, some more financial tips that can help you in the rest of this year, in the fourth quarter of this year, and with a blast. And we want to see you right here in the room at the top. Thank you for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And it's Friday, Lifestyle Focus Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and don't do nothing I wouldn't do. So stay out of trouble, and I look forward to seeing you next Friday at 1 o'clock. See you next time. So long.